Welcome into another episode of For Your Health Podcast, sponsored by Roane General Hospital. I am your host, Andrew Miller. You guys see me every single week on this podcast. We have a very special guest. Once again, we've talked to her before at a podcast. Talked to her about some of the classes she does here in the Prescription for Health program or just in the program at the fitness complex. Veronica Stover is a personal trainer with multiple certifications in many different avenues. We had a great time talking with her about the ways she's incorporated those different ideas into changing the game when it comes to exercise, mobility, and fitness. But to do that, you got to get people to walk through the door, Veronica. So thank you for joining us again. We're going to talk about something much different here, and this is something that many people will say is 100,000% the hardest thing to do. And that is to walk through the doors of the fitness center or walk through the doors of any facility that is exercise-based. Yep. Number one, thanks for joining us again.
You're welcome.
And number two, what is gym anxiety and what is gym-timidation? What a name for that.
Gym-timidation. I think it's fabulous. I hear it daily. I hear the anxiety. Yesterday, talking to a girl who just finished working out, and she was telling me how good she felt. And she said, I'll be honest with you, this morning, I had a panic attack. Thinking about, I promised myself I was going to go to the gym. And I had to psych myself up, and then I kind of, okay, I'm not going to do it. I can't even tell you how many people have told me in Walmart that they came in the parking lot, couldn't get out of the car.
And it's real.
It's real.
So people think that it's just you're just being dramatic. No, it is a real thing when people are talking about exposing themselves, exposing maybe what would be their most worrisome trait about them, and that's their physical looks, their physical nature. So to go into an environment, especially if someone is not used to that environment, it can be crippling. As you say, people can get all the way to the precipice and then not go in. So I want to take it back for you personally. The last time we talked about your personal journey, obviously, with your health throughout. You'd always been active, as you said. You weren't always focused active, but you were always moving, so you weren't necessarily sedentary. And then you had a life-changing diagnosis. In your mid-40s, you were diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. You attacked that like you attacked life. And I think about that, now you're, again, as you said, you're 11 years, you're 12 years, you're past that 10-year period. Without glossing over that, obviously, that's a very important thing. You can touch on that, but I want to talk about people look at you, and on the surface, people would assume, I've known you, people would assume that you've got it together, that you are just motivated beyond belief, that you don't have fears, you don't have anxiety about working out, you don't have anxiety about your body, anything like that. That's not the way it was. That's not the way you've gone through your life. You've had issues with whatever, with the way your body is, with the way you've been active or not active. Anxiety about letting yourself be active in front of other people. So let's go back and talk about all that stuff personally for you, if you don't mind, obviously.
Yes, absolutely. Well, everything that you were just saying was reminding me of once my cancer journey was over, one of the first things I did was I went to Miami, Florida to a retreat one time. And I was in a class, and the lady asked me to come up in front and do something like wave my arms side to side like a tree or something like that. And I thought, I guess my face must have turned immediately red. There's 50 people in this room, and I must have looked like she is not going to do this. And she just looked at me and she said, "Why do you not want to come up here?" And I just was like, oh my gosh, because everybody's going to be looking at me. And what she said to me changed my life. She said, "Really, you think that highly of yourself that people care what you look like?" I was like,
said it in that tone and that
exactly.
facial expression.
I was like, I don't know whether to be totally offended or to cry, or I don't even know what to do at this second. She's like, You know, people really don't care what you look like. You think they do. You think they're all judging you. You think they're looking at you, looking at what you have on, looking and thinking about how you're moving your body and what you're doing and stuff like that. But they know I'm getting ready to ask them to do the same thing. They're in the same room getting ready to do the exact same thing. They're too concerned about how they're going to do this.
Yeah.
They're thinking about where am I going to put my feet, how my arms are going to go, how am I, okay, all right, what am I going to do? And I have used that in my head, and I think about that out here in the gym all the time. I notice I'm too consumed about, okay, this piece of equipment. My arm has to go here. My leg has to go here. Have to pull it down. I need to have my head turned this way. I don't have time to look at anybody else and see what they have on or what they look like or anything like that. And if you can get that in your head and think, it's so true. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you look like. They're not looking at you and judging you. And if they are, that's not your problem.
Yeah.
It's not your problem, and it's none of your business. That's their problem.
Was
It
that
really
a
is.
defining moment for you in your personal journey? Like before that, you had anxiety at times, but that moment you realized
It was.
everybody's fighting the same battle.
Every single person. And I tell you what's really strange is when you really learn about people, the people that you think are the most beautiful people with the most perfect bodies, and they're the most confident, they're the most insecure.
Yeah.
They are the most insecure and they're feeling, you see people all the time that are shy and quiet, and you think that they're being maybe rude or they're like looking down at you. They're so intimidated that they have their head down. They're afraid to look up at you because they don't realize how good they look. They don't realize how good in shape they are. So once you kind of accept the fact that every single person has some type of anxiety, whether it's my feet are too big or my shirt doesn't fit right or whatever. Everybody has it. And we're all human. We're all different. And it's okay. It's just really okay. Once you just become okay with that, it totally is a defining moment. If you can just not care.
Now, since that defining moment that you've had, obviously, and we said, you go through this incredible life-changing diagnosis and you get through that and you utilize that as a stepping stone into, again, researching all this stuff, going through the classes that you need to get these certifications. You go full bore. You're now a fitness trainer here at Roane General Hospital. Do you ever feel anxiety still? Are there
Oh.
times that you still have to kind of fight that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Probably every day. I can tell you every day that I have a new person. I have a new person that comes into the class. They're probably absolutely terrified because this is their first day in the gym, first day in an exercise, never taken an exercise class in their life. My knees are knocking because I want to make sure they have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't mess up. I can't make a mistake. I can't make this too boring. I got to feel good. Like I don't feel good today, but I've got to get real happy and peppy and feel good to make this a really good experience for them because I want them to come back. So yeah, it still happens to me every day. A lot of times I have people come in who know more than me and they're like, they test me. Hey, so what would you do if you needed to do this? Well, I can tell you what my knowledge is, but I don't know everything. But I'm sure there are more ideas and there's better ways and things like that. But I can just tell you what I know,
Well, the reason I asked that question is when we discussed our previous podcast, we were talking about one of the great things about you is who you are. And honestly, as you said, as you have admitted, what you look like. You are not what you would consider or what other people may consider to be your everyday standard personal trainer. You don't have that stereotypical look, if you want to call it that.
Exactly.
And that is part of your power when it comes to this because
I do. I feel like it's my superpower. I almost feel like it's my little superwoman cape that I have tucked away that nobody can see.
And what that does is that allows you to approach people who may have, and I love this and I want to talk about this, who may have what you have found to be called gym-timidation. What is gym-timidation? What is the technical or what is the medical definition for gym-timidation, generally speaking?
Just the intimidation. Intimidation, the nerves, the anxiety about coming and joining. Once you come here and you realize, and that's another thing I think we're going to talk about here in a little bit, that this is not the stereotypical gym that you see on Facebook, on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is not that type of place. You're going to be beside 80-year-old people using the same equipment. We're all here for this prescription for your health program, basically, not to enter a bodybuilding contest that we're going to be showing on television next week. So it's a different crowd of people. It's a different crowd of trainers. All of us. We were talking this morning. All of us are not what you think a personal trainer would be. But I do think that that's our little superpowers because we want you to feel comfortable. We don't want you to be intimidated. We want you to see that we're normal. We're regular people. We're battling. Yeah. We're struggling. We're battling food addictions or battling exercise. And, when you live here and work here every day, it's hard to exercise.
Yeah, I imagine.
I mean, it's like the plumber that the plumber's wife always says, you can't get him to do any work at your house because that's what he does all day long. But just walking in that door is I call it the gym-timidation because people just assume and think that it's something and that it's not. And that's why I said in the other podcast that call the gym, ask me to call you back and just come in and do a little tour. Let's go walk over here and let me show you. Look at the people that are in here exercising. Just look around and see what it is. You don't have to come to the gym and get on exercise equipment.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. You can come to classes. You can take any of the classes. We have such a large array of classes with so many instructors, with Susan and Cheryl and myself and Matt and Will. They can help you even if you don't want to go into a full class. And that's the same with me. If you don't want to come and take a group class, come in. Let's set up a time that you and I can come in and work together by ourselves. These are things that you'd pay a ton of money, just like this prescription for your health, meeting with a personal or a life coach, a nutrition.
Yeah.
In another state, you're talking hundreds of dollars for these appointments. If you ask for a half an hour time of a personal trainer outside of this, you're going to pay $250.
Well, it's going to be expensive.
Yes.
For sure.
So you can just call up and say, hey, can you give me a half an hour of your time to show me what I can do? Talk to me about let me explain to you where my limitations are and what I just had surgery or I just did this or I've just had cancer or I've whatever. What would you recommend that I do? And let me just talk to you. That way you can come in the door and not have that nervous feeling about, oh gosh, here I am. Today's my first day. Let's just talk about it first.
Well, let's connect to the people who may be watching this podcast. Let's connect what you believe or what you've seen to be some contributing factors to people's anxiety, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. There's all sorts. What are some contributing factors you think that will keep people from coming in, will give them anxiety? And then on a little lighter note, you've got a list of some of the greatest excuses that you've heard over the last 10 years. I'd like to go through that so people might be able to be out there and say, oh, I feel that way too. Other people feel that way. Maybe I'll try it again. Maybe I'll give it a try. Yes. What are some of these factors that you think might be leading to this anxiety?
Sometimes it's that they did do this at a younger age. They were in college and they went to gym and there was those mean girls. Yeah. There was blah, blah, blah. I had a bad experience. That's a big one. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not an athlete. I can't move my body like other people. Come to one of my chair classes and you'll see we're not athletes. Yeah. We laugh and giggle and move our body. It's just about movement. It can be. I don't have the right clothes. I know that I don't have gym attire. There's no gym attire. Yeah, I mean, there's people that come here to the gym to wear their jeans and their polo shirts. I mean, that wouldn't be comfortable for me, but if that's what you wear, that's
Whatever
fine.
you can move
Yeah.
in.
I have a lady that comes to class in her dress, in a skirt and dress. So that could be like religious reasons or anything like that. That they're like, I wear dresses, I can't come to the gym. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. We can do all kinds of different things within that.
Well, one of the things when you said one of the first things you said was had a bad experience as a younger person. This is going to be my obligatory. I mention Doug Bentz every time in each episode. I don't know if he knows that I do it, but it's just because I've had 2 podcasts with Doug. The first one we did was very eye-opening to me because Doug was very raw about it, and we talked about this in a previous podcast. Not everybody has it together. In fact, most people are fighting battles that you wouldn't think about. You think that you've got everything together, you're motivated, there's never a problem. Totally the opposite. You think Doug Bentz is the CEO of a hospital, he's an administrator, he's got his life together, and he exposed himself in that first podcast and talked about his fears, his faults. I'll get to the point. You said had a bad experience back in college. Doug had a great experience back in college. He was a tremendous athlete. He was a high-level college athlete. And he talked about his fear of, I was such a good athlete back then, I can't do that anymore. And the fear of, I can't do that anymore was a major factor for him. And it kept him from starting his process.
Absolutely.
So even a good time back then can be intimidating when you become an adult and you find out that you're not who you were.
Yeah. Your life is evolving, and it's hard to admit that we're aging and our body's changing. It doesn't work the way it used to. But just like, what was that saying that I said in that last podcast about if you move, you're young.
Yeah.
If you don't move, you're old. Doesn't matter if you're 20 or you're 80. So knowing that, like, if you're at 80 years old and thinking, the gym is not the place for me, but I wasn't. I used to be an athlete, or I can't do the things that I used to do. That's why we modify things.
Yeah.
You don't want to do. I'll tell you one thing that I talked to a lot of my classmates about that is really different, that opens their eyes. And I actually talked to some phys ed teachers. We were talking about this. When we were taught in middle school to stretch, do you remember those? You jerked and you
Yes.
pushed. As your body ages, you can't do that because your muscles will rip.
You might get stuck down there.
Oh, not even stuck. It's just one big forced push like that.
That's
you can
it.
rip. You can rip and tear up muscles like you wouldn't believe. So getting in your mindset that your body won't do it's not that you can't. It's that it won't. Your body won't do that 50 years later. So you need to learn a new way. Well, how do you learn a new way? You come and take a class, or you come and talk to someone who's been training and learning how do we stretch when we get over 40. Sometimes it's how do we stretch and learn to stretch when you're over 30 because we've led a sedentary lifestyle. So stretching, a lot of people don't realize how much breath work has to do with stretching, because you have to send and force oxygen to those muscles. You push it to where if you're stretching and you push it too far, your muscle's going to tighten up and say, no, you can't. I won't let you do that because you're going to hurt me. But if you learn to relax and breathe and take that oxygen in and out, the muscle accepts the stretch and relaxes so that you can continue to stretch. You don't know that.
Yeah.
You come into the gym so we can tell you that.
So you can learn.
And we can show you a new way to stretch, a new way. So, I mean, coming into the gym, there's another thing that we didn't even talk about. You can come and take stretching classes.
Yeah.
Why do you think you have to come into the gym to lift weights? Yeah. You can take a stretching class. It's stretching class. It's not yoga. You could take a yoga class also, but you want to do something that you have seen on television or something like that. I had a man come in the other day and he goes, I really wish I could learn some Tai Chi. And I'm like, oh, I have a Tai Chi certification. When do you want to? And we'll work on it. You got to ask.
Yeah.
You might be interested in something that somebody already knows how to do or was willing to help you with, but you got to walk in the door.
I feel like some of that stuff, and again, this is coming from more of a younger thought process of social media. I'm heavily into social media when I'm talking about my own personal health journey of trying to learn how to do nutrition properly, how to do proper exercise and this and that. And all the times that I've done this, I don't see a lot of the things that we have here. I don't see a lot of that promoted so much as it's just the lifting and the cardio, and the proper nutrition, which are all important, but that's segmented toward a certain type of audience. Now, we provide so many more things here. And again, this podcast is the reason we're doing this podcast is to try to help get the information out to people that you don't have to be scared because you don't have to come in and do what you may have seen. There are so many more things that are provided here for people to try to get over that gym-timidation as you talk about. It's still not easy, but the great thing about it is if somebody gets involved in the Prescription for Your Health program, they can go talk to Kim Mertz first. Mm-hmm. They can go talk to Vicki Withers first. As you mentioned, they can come in and talk to you guys before they even step foot on a piece of equipment or anything or in a classroom to do that. I want to talk about some of if people can get through that first hump, that big hump and that anxiety, if they can make the step through the door, the benefits from starting this are innumerous. They're unbelievable. And one of the ones that I did not expect to talk about, talked about this on a podcast we did with one of your coworkers, Cheryl Tolley. The social aspect for people who maybe have lived relatively sedentary lifestyles, meaning not only have they not moved a lot, maybe they're older, maybe they don't have a lot of friends and family available, maybe they live alone. What they have seen and what I've talked to other people who've come in here, it was an unanticipated, incredible benefit for people, is people are social creatures. We have to interact with other human beings. And to see what that's done for people more than anything else is incredible. And I'm sure you have seen it all the time.
Exactly. Because some of the classes that I teach are geared toward my silver sneakers, which would be the aging population. Mm-hmm. And like I said, please don't get me wrong. I can have a 20-year-old in that same class with my 90-some-year-old. So anybody can take these classes. But there's a lot of widowers that are at home alone.
Yeah.
And I saw a study one time about dementia, and they were talking about how important it is to be able to hear, that you should make sure that you have hearing aids if you need them, that the decline in dementia patients so much faster and the development of dementia on people who don't hear because they're not having the social aspect of life.
Yeah.
They're not having these conversations with people because they can't hear what they're saying, so they just kind of go isolate themselves. It's truly laughing. We talk about this in my chair class a lot.
Yeah.
Ladies will say to me, I haven't laughed like that. I giggled so hard because I'll make a mistake and I'll make fun of myself, or I'll say, well, you could have did this, but look what I did, or something like that.
Yeah.
We start laughing and giggling, then we start telling stories, and all of a sudden somebody's talking about a recipe, and then somebody's like, oh, I want to know how to cook that. They stay after and talk.
Yeah.
They go out in the parking lot and talk. They talk to each other about, hey, this weekend I'm going to go to Dairy Queen. Why don't you come and meet with me? These are people that don't have anybody,
Yeah.
and now they have the social aspect, and it is huge.
This program, whether you're in the program or not, but these things that you guys are doing, it also proves the difference in Roane General Hospital's approach to fitness, and the fact that the fitness center is so much different than a gym.
Yeah.
The social aspect, it's all encompassing. The social aspect is an ancillary benefit, but it's a very important ancillary benefit. you get to talking, you get to laughing. It releases endorphins. It releases all these wonderful things. Your mental health improves. At the same time, you're obviously moving and working out, so your physical health improves. It is something that is so good for you, and you can do it with other human beings. Now, if you're in the gym and you're working out by yourself, understandable. You're still getting good exercise, and it's still helping your mental and your sleep schedule, all that stuff. But what we provide here at Roane General Hospital with all these classes, is something so much more important, especially for the people who have gym-timidation or gym anxiety. So we're trying to get these people to understand, if you are afraid, if you're so nervous, so anxious, if you're not able, if you are sitting outside in your vehicle, as you said, and you just can't walk through the door, before you walk out, before you leave, everybody's got cell phones right now.
Call me. I'll come out in the parking lot and talk to you.
And talk to you.
Yeah, you don't have to come in. We could walk around the building. We can walk around the hospital and talk. The talking and the physical activity is going to change that chemistry in your brain. By the time we walk around and talk, you're totally a different person because you've changed that chemistry in your brain. Yeah. And you're probably going to, at that point, before you get back in your car, well, go ahead and show me around. Let me come in and show me around. You're going to come in, we're going to laugh, we're going to giggle, we're going to have fun, we're going to talk about all the different things. You're going to learn about the place, you're going to see how unintimidating it is, and then all of a sudden, everything is going to change. And you're going to be, wow, your whole chemistry in your brain changes, and it changes. The anxiety is gone.
Let's talk about the different layout for the fitness center here at Roane General Hospital and why it is so much different than any other normal gym that you see. So normal gyms are isolated as their own thing. Here at the fitness center, you encompass cardiac rehab right beside you. You've got physical therapy right across the hallway that interacts inside there. So when people who are afraid to walk in because they're afraid of whatever stereotypes are, I'm going to see a 210-pound bodybuilder in there. You may see some guys in there, some girls in there who are incredibly physically fit, but you're going to see a whole lot of other stuff in there. You're going to walk in and find out you're amongst a gaggle of human beings.
You are going to see that those people that are in physical therapy, because this is an open room concept, that on their last day when they're being released, they're walked over with their physical therapist. They're walked over to us. They're introduced to us. Hey, Bill just had hip surgery. These are the things he can't do yet. But here's the things that he can do. In physical therapy, he's actually been over here using some of the equipment. Cardiac rehab, pulmonary. He'd probably been over here using some of the equipment. They're physically walked over and introduced to us and said, hey, next week they can start here because they're done over here. Here's the things they can do, and here's the things that they shouldn't be doing yet or whatever. And then we just walk around and start talking. We introduce them about the classes, and we talk to them. So those people that's been in physical therapy, cardiac rehab, and pulmonary, they've been coming regularly to these appointments. Yeah. They come every Tuesday and Thursday to physical therapy. Okay, I'm just going to keep them the same time. I'm just going to come. So those are the people that you see here. Yeah. And there's something about a couple of things that you've said that, and I'm not correcting you when I say this. Please don't take this.
Listen, I am correctable. Trust me.
I have changed the way I answer the phone here because the name outside says Center for Wellness, and I don't call it the fitness complex anymore. So I answer the phone.
Yes.
Center for Wellness. Wellness is my brain. Wellness is my social aspect. I hate to exercise, but boy, I'd like to come and talk to some people. So I'm going to come to that class just so I can talk and laugh and fun. That's wellness.
That's an important distinction. And I think about it, and I guess it's just I'm a holdover when I used to work at the fitness complex, and I used to go to the fitness complex. That's just a holdover. It is really no longer that. I mean, that's just a portion of this whole thing.
Yep.
I would just say the gym portion of the Center for Wellness.
Yes.
And it's true because the reason for this prescription for health is overarching overall wellness. It has not only to do with physical wellness, physical, mental, health-wise, nutritional, spiritual, all of it. All of it. And
And
that's an interesting, small little change that
Yeah.
you make there.
Yeah. And people also don't understand the concept of wellness or even the physical part of the wellness. It can be walking. We have a walking class that we just walk around the outside of the building. You know, there's another thing. Well, oh, I can't come to the gym because I don't want to use that equipment. I don't, all that kind of stuff. There's other things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, you can take a 15-minute balance class. It's 15 minutes and it's just going to work on balance. That's not gym equipment. That's in the classroom and working on balance. There are other things to do for your wellness and your physical health that aren't equipment and lifting weights.
Which is why you guys are here and why we're doing this podcast right now about the anxiety people may feel. The goal is to let people know who may have no idea. They may have never been into a wellness facility or even into a gym or whatever you want to. They may have never gone in there. So that anxiety is through the roof. But that's not the only people who are still anxious. As you said, there are people who are former athletes who may be anxious in their mid-40s, mid-50s, mid-60s. I'm scared to get back into it. So there are so many different ways that people can start becoming healthy in whatever ways they need that you guys provide. You guys provide multiple avenues. The goal is to eliminate excuses, obviously.
Exactly.
And we do it in a fun way sometimes. But
Yes.
What are some of the excuses? I wanted to talk about that. What are some of the best excuses you've heard for people to not walk through those doors?
Well, the number one excuse I hear all the time is I don't have time. Okay, well, I see you posting 800 things on Facebook a day. Yeah, you do. You got
that took you 20 minutes at least, right?
Exactly. I have 15-minute classes.
Yeah.
I have 15-minute classes. Oh, it's only at 6:10 a.m. I can't come at that time. Fine, call me up. I'll do a 15-minute class at what time do you want me to do it? I'll do it. That's the one. I don't have time. So many people tell me, oh, I there's just no time in the day. We do open at 6 o'clock in the morning. If you don't go to work until 8, we have a shower also.
Yeah.
You don't have to sweat. You can come and take a 15-minute class, get your heart rate up, build some muscle and some strength in 15 or 20 minutes. You can take a shower or you don't take a shower and then go to work.
Yeah.
We're open till 8 p.m. I have to get my kids home and feed them dinner. Okay, Get your kids home, feed them dinner, call the neighbor, have them come over for an hour, come to the gym.
Yeah.
That's the time. I don't have time.
The time is one of the worst ones.
Is the biggest one. I don't have time. Well, you know what? You don't have time to have a heart attack. You don't have time to have a stroke. You think you don't have time to take care of your children and your spouse and your mother-in-law or things like that. When you have a stroke, you don't have time. You will definitely not be able to.
Yeah.
So you have time. You make that time so that you don't end up in that situation.
Yeah, you can provide all of the necessary possibilities here, but there has to be some accountability to the human being.
Exactly.
They have to be.
Yep.
They have to take accountability of their own health.
Yeah.
So they have to be able to be like, do you really not have time?
Exactly.
Or do you just not have time, if you know what we mean? So that's the biggest excuse.
That is the biggest.
What are some other excuses? I mentioned in the last podcast, I said, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, well, I don't want to go in until I get to this certain level.
Yes. Oh, Lord, I hear that one all the time. When I lose 10 pounds, I'm going to come to the gym. Are you freaking kidding me?
You know how you could lose 10 pounds pretty quickly?
Come to the gym and you're going to lose 10 pounds a lot faster. Come and move,
You hear that, our producer back there? Sorry, that's my own little personal ribbing right there.
That is. Well, shoot, I forgot. What were we just talking about?
Like the excuses that people are giving. Just the excuses.
There's 1,000 of them. I mean, the biggest one is the anxiety and the time. I'm trying to think of some of the ones I wrote down here that are. I'm too self-conscious. It's too intimidating. I weigh too much. That's the one. Like I need to
Yeah.
lose 10 or 20 pounds before I come.
That's where the anxiety checks in hardcore,
It
obviously.
truly does, because the last time that you exercised, you were 50 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
And you think, I can't come and do that because of that. You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, and that needs to be baby steps. And we're going to tell you that and really push that. Coming back to the gym and doing what you did 10 years ago, you're going to end up over in physical therapy.
Yeah.
You're going to get hurt. So you can't. You just have to come and start somewhere, and that's just moving. And that's all. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be lifting weights. It doesn't have to be some hour cardio class. It can be a 10 minutes, you can come in and meet with me, and we can talk about, let's make you a little workout routine, but let's make you one that you can do at home too. So if you want to come, you only have time for one day a week because it's Tuesday's the day you don't work. Okay, well, let's work you out let's make this up. Let's put it on paper. You take this home, and now you can do it while the kids are brushing their teeth and get ready for school, 15 minutes. We can help you with that.
Well, I think number one, the way that you guys are able to counteract gym anxiety and gym-timidation, as we call it, you guys are all local human beings. People know, everybody who works at the gym part of this Center for Wellness, everybody is from around here at least. You're very welcoming. You guys are all very open. You've always got a smile on your face. You're willing to talk to people. There is no overwhelming a new person. There's always just a relaxing, well, here's what we're going to do just to get you started. Why don't you just sit down here? We'll do the in-body scanner. Walk up and down here real quick. It's going to be the basics, the very simple things, and through being able to talk to these people, you set their mind at ease. You also mentioned, and again, this is the second podcast you and I have talked. You mentioned just the way you all look is immediately, it lets the guard down. You're just all human beings.
Yes.
You're all human beings. You're all dealing with the same. We're all in this race together.
Exactly.
And so that's one way to allow that anxiety to go down. And again, you guys don't force anything on people. You guys are so open and welcoming to talk to. Those are ways that you guys can help with the anxiety. But again, it comes down to, number one, somebody has to walk through the door.
And another thing they all also think is, I think they think that when you are new and you walk in that door, that you've got this like red light over your head, and everyone in the gym could see this is your first time. Most of the people that are in the gym maybe only come 2 days a week, and this is not a day that you're going to come on a day.
Yeah.
They're never going to know that this is your first day.
Exactly.
At all. And also, we're here to show you how to use this equipment. The one thing that I always tell everybody when they want to learn how to use the equipment, I want to learn how to use some of the weights, the equipment that's in the gym area, not just take classes. I always say, okay, let's go over this, but let me tell you though, you're not going to remember this. So don't be intimidated. It's going to take you months to remember how to use this equipment.
Yeah.
If you've never been in a gym, you ask me every time. You ask me every single time, hey, it's leg day. I don't remember how to use any of this stuff. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
We're going to go through it again. I'm going to stand right beside you. I'm going to show you where to put this and change this and do this. I can write it down for you too, but it's okay. Ask me again Tuesday when you come back.
That's why you guys are there?
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not bothering us. That's what we're here for. And we don't expect you to memorize how to use this stuff.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to remember how to turn the stuff on and what button to push and stuff like that. And we're here.
Yeah, advancements in technology with these pieces of cardio equipment, advances in technology with the types of equipment that you guys have in there. I mean, I'm somebody who's been in and out of gyms for the majority of my life. I go in here, the first time I came back in, I looked through the new equipment. I was like, I could not tell you what that's for even.
Yep.
And so it takes time to get through that,
Yep.
and that's fine. That's what you guys do for people. We're going so long here. I'm going to go. I'm going to break it down here for you. How can we help motivate our friends and family to join up on this thing? Because one of the best ways to overcome anxiety is have somebody you trust there with you to
Have a
begin with.
partner.
Have a partner. And some
a
people,
partner.
again, they don't, obviously, but you're finding ways to get
Yeah.
these people in. But how can we influence our friends and family who may be this close to walking through? How can we do that?
Oh my goodness. Boy, I think if I knew that answer, I probably could solve all the problems in the world because, you know, if you can get and I heard this the other morning in one of my classes. She said, knowing how good I feel after I do one of these 20-minute was a 20-minute class is what brings me back. If I didn't remember how good I felt, it wouldn't be so easy to come back. So give yourself a chance to come in, experience it, and see what it does. See how it changes your physical body, but also your brain, your chemistry, your emotions, your mood. It totally changes everything. And once you feel that and feel how good that feels, you're kind of like, oh, I wanna feel that.
Feel that again.
I want to feel that again. I want it to be easier. One other really quick thing that I always try to tell everybody also is, you know, people they don't think there's a reason. I don't see the reason. I don't see the reason why I need to come and do that. Okay, I told you earlier, I'm almost 60 and now I have grandchildren. Try to get up and down off the floor and play with your grandkids.
Yeah.
Fall. If your muscles aren't strong enough, you could lay there, and you hear this. People lay there for days waiting for somebody to come check on them because they fell and broke a hip. Well, if you've been exercising, your arms are strong enough to pull yourself to a phone or push yourself up. You need these things to be able to get up and down off the floor.
You need to know that the quality of your life can significantly improve each day you decide to make that choice to step through the door.
Yes.
Each day that you do it, it's one day better than you were the day before. And you guys are here with a smile on your face for it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
And you're not too old to start.
Never.
Like a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm 80 years old. It's too late for me." It's not. I've seen people come in here walking with a cane, very slow, with the inability to lift their head up, and 2 months later, I see them skipping at 80 some years old into this classroom. It's changed their bodies. It's changed their lives.
That's the goal.
Yep.
That's the goal of the Prescription for Your Health. That's the goal of this podcast, to get the information to people. It is never too late until it's too late. So come in, make that decision. We know that it's scary. We've been through it. We're through it all the time. It's a daily decision to make, but once you make the decision, it'll be the best decision you ever made each day that you do it. Go in, talk to Veronica, talk to anybody that works at the gym part of the wellness center. Thank you for that fix, by the way. I really like that. I'm going to start stealing that from now on in other podcasts. Veronica Stover, again, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the information, and thank you for continuing to help the people of Roane County.
Thank you.
Another podcast in the books, folks. We'll see you next Friday.